welcome back into the aggregate. Oh shit, Jody put a cowboy hat on. Cowboy Troy here, hanging out. All right, welcome. So let's go around the horn. We'll start with Chocolate Thunder as we always do, since he's the number one contributor to the aggregate. How are we doing today, Jody?
Hey, it's Friday. Thank you for having me on. Happy to be here once again.
Are you drinking yet?
No, not yet.
Okay. Maybe this would have been easier. Mike and I were talking earlier, and I was telling him to pop some gummies before he got on, about 45 minutes. So, Michael, you got a mouthful. Is it gummies?
No, not yet. We're working up to it.
Okay. Or have a drink in between each pick. It's like going golfing and doing one between each hole. All right. And you brought your partner in crime here, Callie. How we doing, Calzone?
Hi, I'm good.
Good to have you. This is your premiere on your own screen to the aggregate. Are you excited?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to get seen by up to 30 people.
Let's go.
All right. And then we have the technical master himself, our veteran, Terrence. How we doing, Terry?
Good. I've been trying to get on here since about 3:15. I finally...
Terry took a personal day from work. He took a personal day to figure out how to click the fucking link.
Exactly. I'm just here for the music for the aggregate.
Oh, it is sexy time when this thing starts. Yeah, it's baby making music. So today we're going to be drafting the greatest Lakers onto our all-time Laker team. So this should be fun. A lot of great players have come through for the Lakers. We really only have one rule. It's they had to play at least 2 seasons with the Lakers in order for you to draft them, mainly because I didn't want to see Gary or Peyton or Karl Malone on this list. So that one season that one person plays for him doesn't cut it. Who did we say, Mike? Was it Antoine Jameson? Also had like one season with the Lakers. Yeah, we're not doing
so there'll be no Jim Jackson.
No,
I didn't know Jim Jackson played for. Are you talking about Jimmy Jackson from Ohio State?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know he played for the Lakers, to be honest with you.
He was 24 before Kobe took 24.
Yeah. Well, let's not talk about Kobe taking things by force, because that's going to go down a dark road. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the Wheel of Names. So we're going to hop on here and we're going to spin and we're going to see the order that we get to draft. Ooh, exciting, isn't it? All right. So let's see who picks first. All right, click this. No whammies, no whammies, no whammies. And first pick goes to... Oh, fuck. I didn't want the first pick. I just told Mike earlier I did not want the first pick. All right. Kurt Rambis, here we come. All right. So I've got the first pick. I had the first pick last time. This is rigged. All right. Second pick. Cross your fingers. Goes to... Oh, it's close. Oh, Jody by a hair.
Okay. The hat's coming off now. Time to go in the war room.
Oh, no. I don't know. You got that Blazing Saddles thing going. I like it.
Yeah.
All right. Third pick.
It's going to Terry.
Goes to... No, I think it's going to be Callie. Callie. That's the spot I wanted. I wanted the third pick. All right. We'll remove that. Fourth pick.
I got 50% chance, I think.
Oh, you are quite the mathematician.
Of course, I'm last.
It goes to Terry. All right.
But Mike, you get back-to-back picks though. So.
All right.
True.
Let's see. Let's see who gets
the last pick.
Yeah.
All right, Mike.
Didn't see that coming.
Good deal. Okay.
I like the people cheering.
Yes. Well, we go with the extra mile here on the aggregate. We have that budget of 17 cents that we use for the electricity for the show. Okay.
I just got one question though.
What's that?
If we're doing this Lakers thing, so that means that Does the Minneapolis Lakers count too?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So the Lakers franchise.
Okay.
So yeah,
I should have put my Laker jersey on.
yeah, you should have. You can go run and put it on now if you want to.
It doesn't match with this.
Oh, okay.
Besides George Mike and name another one.
Yeah. Oh,
Exactly.
well, now wasn't Happy Hairston the Minneapolis Lakers?
No.
Probably.
Or what? No. Oh, he was by the 70s, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're gonna get another screen up here once I All right. And you guys that were here for the Blazer draft know this screen. This is where we'll keep track of everybody's teams. And we will start off. So I've got the first pick. And I'm really torn between two players.
What's your name?
But I'm going to have to go with the logo and go Jerry West as my first pick. And just because that way I don't have to cry and Mike doesn't have to feel bad for me. Yeah, Jerry West is a good, if you ever look at his numbers, and I always do this because I hate Kobe Bryant. If you ever look at Jerry West's numbers, his numbers are better than Kobe's.
How
Also
often
played
can one win the finals when your team loses? MVP.
great fact. MVP of the losing team. And he lost a lot of finals. He had a lot of LeBron-itis. Like he lost a lot of finals, but he was mainly a shooting guard, but did lead the league in assists one year, if I remember correctly. I was looking at some of his stats. He had like 9 some assists a game. So yeah, Jerry West could fill it up. He's the logo. Not much to discuss there.
Sounds like he talks too much.
37.9 points a game
Wow.
in the 69 and when he won the MVP when they lost without a 3-point line.
You know what? I don't have a thing for Callie on here. So Callie, are you next up?
I'm third.
Who's second?
Jody.
Me.
All right, Jody, go ahead and make your pick while I fill in a deal here for Callie.
It's a reversible. I can go ahead and go the road team if I want to, but yeah, we're gonna go with MJ. My favorite player of all time.
Yeah, so I was talking to Mike about this earlier, and I said, boy, because he said, are you going to cry if you don't get Jerry West? And I said, I won't, but if Jody doesn't get Magic Johnson, I said he may cry.
Yeah.
I got Clyde Drexler, so I was happy. So yeah, Jody gets his Magic.
That's true. You got Drexler in the Blazers draft. He gets Magic in this one. All right. There we go. Now we got Cal on the board. All right. So we got Magic off the board. And I'm assuming we're putting him at the point guard spot since he is the greatest point guard ever.
Oh, yeah.
Is he anybody else have a vote for greatest point guard ever other than Magic?
Steph.
You think Steph's the greatest point guard ever?
I still consider him a shooting guard for some reason.
He's kind of a combo, but he's like hybrid. He changed the game so much that he made the game so hybrid.
This is why we give you the 5th pick, because you think Steph Curry is better than Magic Johnson.
Well, I mean, he did eliminate a position in the NBA.
He did.
He did change the game, but
Yeah.
when you say great, he's one of the best scorers of all time. But I mean, I don't know about defense and assists and rebounds.
He doesn't. He's a decent defender. That it gets overshadowed by his offense. Like no one really talks about. Everyone talks about Small. He's actually kind of stout, little ripped dude. He's okay. He's not like the worst defender on the team, but I think he holds his own.
Hey, you know what? I do admit, Mike, that he did change the game, but let's be real. If it wasn't for Magic and Larry, y'all still be watching the finals on tape delay. So let's just.
Yeah. Callie, I know you're a Steph Curry. Callie or Magic Johnson? You never got to see Magic play, but who's the best point guard of all time?
I mean, I have to go with Steph because he's just my favorite player in general.
Gotcha. All right, you got brainwashed in
Yeah.
that household. I see what's going on. All right, no problem. That's some people have them. I honestly think John Stockton's right up there. Isaiah Thomas is right up there. There's
Yeah.
some good ones. Okay, so Callie, you were 3, yes?
Mhm.
Okay, who you taking?
Pau Gasol.
Pau Gasol, going with one of the newer ones here, and we putting him at power forward.
Yeah.
All right, Pau Gasol, who I give that dude a lot of credit because the Lakers were a 500 team before Pau Gasol got there, and then all of a sudden they went to the championship the year after, or the first year he got there, and then won a couple titles with him there. So Pau was pretty underrated, I think. He was, and I think he would have been better now since he was like a finesse power forward, kind of a stretch guy a little bit. So, yeah.
Who
Pau-
got him over to the Lakers? How did he get over to the Lakers?
what, from Jerry West trading for him or what?
Exactly.
Yeah. Jerry West is, he wasn't a bad GM. With the Grizzlies too, I believe, wasn't he? With the Grizzlies and got them
Yeah.
some good parts too. So, Pau Gasol is the pick. Then we would go with Terry. Who you drafting first there, Terrence?
Well, seeing that you already took West and Magic off the board,
I think I
I'm
know
gonna
where
go-
you're going.
I'm going to go. Well, before he's taken, and I got some old school, so I don't know if you guys know him. I'll go with Worthy.
Ooh,
Ooh.
James Worthy at the
Worthy.
small forward, yeah.
Correct.
Big Game James, who he was a Finals MVP, wasn't he?
Yep.
Yes.
This is why I like having Jody here. Jody is my encyclopedia. Big Game James, get you some scoring, get you up and down the floor. A great pairing with Magic.
yeah.
Just some good eyewear.
Yeah, definitely some good eyewear. All right.
And inviting
And
up to his hotel room too.
yeah. I'd
He
rather
led the league in.
go to his hotel room than Kobe's.
Right.
All right. So Mike, you've got 2 in a row here.
Yeah.
Who are you going with first?
I'm shocked that these two are still on the board because I think as amazing as Magic was, I gotta Magic was cold. He was so good, but Kobe Bryant, man, I gotta go Jelly Bean. I mean, he's
That's the
tough.
2?
Yeah.
I can respect that. I don't like him, but I can respect it.
Magic's probably my second favorite card, but Magic was clean. I like his game, and he played
Yeah.
every position.
Kobe Bryant is probably, I will admit, and I joke just because I don't like him personally, but he is probably the closest thing to MJ that we've seen since MJ. I know people are trying to hype up Anthony Edwards, but Anthony Edwards does not have a killer instinct at all, and he's just a big goofball. But Anthony Edwards moves like Jordan, but Kobe literally idolized Michael, patterned his whole game after him, and good job by his dad for raising him that way. All right.
Yeah, that's when he first started to break out. People didn't like him because he would mimic Jordan so much that he would walk like him, talk like
Dress
him.
like him.
Yeah, it's like, all right, man. But when he became his own identity, that's when everybody embraced him. So
Yeah.
He is the Mamba. And he did his thing. He's got 5 titles and 2 Finals MVPs. So he did his thing. It's too bad him and Shaq couldn't have got along because that would have been interesting to see if they could have gone 10 years together, what they would have done, especially in that era of the NBA where the NBA was super weak. They could have racked up titles.
well, yeah, I would too if you had a certain referee refereeing your games.
Tim Donaghy. Getting past the Kings because of Tim Donaghy, but that's a whole nother show. All right, Mike, you get the back-to-back. Who you got coming back the other way?
Great segue that I'll take Kobe's center, number 32 from LSU.
O'Neal.
You mean 34?
34. Sorry, he was 32 in Orlando. Good point. Look at Mr. Lakers over here.
Yeah.
Was he 34 in Orlando too? I thought he's 32 in Orlando.
LSU, he was 33.
I don't know.
Look at me.
You
He
can
wore
research it.
33 at LSU.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he wore 34 with the Lakers. He might have worn 32.
That's right. It wouldn't have
with
been
Orlando.
32 with the Lakers because that number's retired.
Yeah. He does not deserve that number 32. All right. So Shaquille O'Neal off the list. So Mike going with some contemporaries here. All right. So let me go back to the fourth pick. Terry, that's you, yeah?
Yeah, so I'm torn in between two other big men.
Rambus and Chris Mim.
Mitch Kupchak, let's go.
Yep. Hey, Mitch Kupchak's got a ring, doesn't he?
I'm going to
Yeah.
go in time, and it's too hard to translate yesteryear's games and today's games. But Mr. Chamberlain, I'll take Wilt, who averaged 22 and a half rebounds, 24 and a half points, and 4.2 assists in
Scored 100 points in a game.
160 playoff games. Just
And
alone.
And even when he got to the Lakers, he was not the same version of himself, but he turned into a passer because he had all those scores, and he was still a great rebounder and defender and a good athlete. And they won in 72?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they had a little squad there. Will Chamberlain, not a bad pick. I mean, he's right up there with all the best centers in the league ever, all time.
And that's his prime was probably in the mid 60s, which is hard to imagine that translating into today's game. But you just play who's in front of you. It's not his fault of what era you're in.
Right. Nothing's going to translate because everybody is bigger, stronger, faster as the years go on. Baseball doesn't translate. Football doesn't translate. So you only can do what they did in that era. And that's pretty impressive.
Take those numbers.
Yeah. If it was easy, if it was easy, everybody would have had those numbers back in the day, but they didn't. All right. So we are back to number 3. And that was who? Cal?
Mm-hmm.
Cal, who you got number 2 here?
Eddie Jones.
Ooh.
Eddie Jones. And are we putting him at the 2 guard?
Yeah.
What do you like about Eddie Jones?
No idea. From Google, it looks like his defensive abilities.
Yeah, Eddie Jones, good little athlete, ran the floor. He actually was number 5 on my list of shooting guards, so it's not outrageous to choose Eddie Jones. When I was looking at the who I wanted at my 2, he was on there. So props to that. Eddie Jones again was a guy who probably would have been better now because he was like a 3-and-D guy, and there wasn't a lot of 3-and-D guys back then. It wasn't as much of a thing. But yeah, Eddie Jones. He was a fun player to watch. Like I said, get up and down, do his thing.
He's really good.
Yeah. I mean, I'd run with him. He's a good role player guy. All right. We're at number 2, Jody.
Got to go with the Cap. Got to go with Kareem.
Yeah. And, I would have been shocked if you didn't choose Cap. You know what? I gave Shaq one name. I'm giving Kareem one name because you got to know who that is. Yeah. Cap is the man, and for what it's worth, he is my number 1 all-time greatest basketball player ever. I take him over Jordan. I just think that if I was starting a team, I'm going to take the 7-footer with the unstoppable hook shot that's going to rebound, pass, play defense. He's great. He's just amazing. And again, he was on the back 9 when he got to the Lakers, but still awesome.
Yeah.
And
he still won the Finals MVP at 30 some odd years old. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And then think about it: 6-time league MVP, 1, 6-time NBA Finals champion, right? And let's be real. And he won a league MVP when his team didn't even make the playoffs.
Yeah. I mean, he's got the resume, right? Like
Yeah.
Kareem has the resume, and there's a reason. And he was on Airplane. I mean,
Yeah.
if
Enter the Dragon.
And he went to two finals.
no,
with
not Enter the
Milwaukee.
Dragon. I believe it wasn't Enter the Dragon. It was
Wasn't
it
Enter the
Game
Dragon.
of Death or what
Yeah,
was it?
Game of Death. I think you're right.
It was a different one where he was like Bruce Lee had to go up the different levels and fight a boss. It was like a video game before they had video games, and then the final boss was Kareem, who trained with Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like 7 feet tall, and Bruce Lee was like what 5'3" or something, and it's like so that was an interesting fight scene. But yeah,
Let's
All right.
do the math for a second. When he became the all-time NBA scoring champ in for points in 84, how long did that record stand until LeBron broke it?
well, 40 years. Was it just last year LeBron broke it?
Yeah. So think about this. The majority of his points came in an era where there were no three-pointers either, by the way.
And he didn't get into the league till he's probably 22, 23.
Oh yeah, because you had to stay, right? You
Well, you
couldn't-
didn't have to, but hardly anybody ever came out early. I think he was like 22 when he started with the Bucks.
So think about that for a second. If Kareem came out at 18, like LeBron did or whatever, and
Yeah.
was scoring those points, LeBron had the luxury of the game is so wide open now. We're shooting threes. Kareem didn't have a three-point line then. A lot of his points came in an era where there were no three-pointers. So you got to put props to him and anybody in that era, by the way.
Yeah. And it's a no-touch league now, too. So
yeah.
LeBron's great and he could play in any era, but he's also benefits from being 6'9", 265, and you can't touch anybody. You go right down Main Street and
Yeah,
know,
there's no
that shit
Daryl
wouldn't happen in
Hawkins,
the-
Moses Malone there to teach you a lesson.
exactly. So he's still great, and everybody now is still great, but it's just a different game. It's spread out, and it's no hand checking. No, you got to look at a flagrant foul one if someone sneezes on somebody. You go, what? Come on, it's just a good foul. So, it's
And
just
then
a-
one last thing with Kareem. How many college titles did Kareem win?
3.
All.
Yeah, he did. He couldn't play freshman year. They
Because he
didn't let
couldn't play his
freshmen
freshman year, right? They didn't allow freshmen to
Right.
play back then.
His sophomore year, his UCLA squad beat the defending champion UCLA seniors.
Was that Walton? No.
No. Came
No,
after.
Walton
Walton was
in there.
after.
When Kareem was a sophomore, they beat the UCLA defending champions.
Who was
With a
on
bunch
that
of-
team?
I don't know. I just know Kareem was a sophomore.
Probably Gail Goodrich. I don't know. But
Curtis Rowe, Sidney Wicks, who knows?
also, he was the reason why you couldn't dunk in college.
Exactly right.
So there's your game changer, Mike, right there.
And Wilk's the reason they widened
Yeah.
the key, so he couldn't get so low post. They had to
Yep.
widen the key. So
Yeah. This is just an enrichment of knowledge. Um,
But you got to give props to my pick, Wilt, because he led the league with 20,000.
with 20,000 pounds.
That's a busy schedule.
That
Yeah.
is.
A lot of Gatorade.
Yeah, if you get sick for a week, you got to double up.
Yeah.
That's what you call a triple double. Hey, all right. So I got 2 in a row, and I'm gonna keep it old school here. We're gonna go with Elgin Baylor.
Oh, good pick.
Ooh,
Um,
nice.
When you look at Elgin Baylor's stats, they're just ridiculous, right?
Mhm.
Like his stats are like, and let me pull it up here because I mean I knew Elgin Baylor was nice, but
He revolutionized the game in the early 60s.
yeah, boy, he can do a lot of stuff here. So what do we have here? We've got 27.4 points, 13.5 rebounds, 4.3 assists for his career. I don't think a lot of folks can stack up to that, can they?
Kurt Rambis.
How dare you? Of course, Kurt Rambis.
That was career total versus average.
Yeah,
Here's a
Elgin
fun
is.
fact for you. Elgin Baylor lost all those championships against the Celtics with Jerry West.
Mhm.
And then in 72, he only played 8 games before he retired. 71, 72. Retired 8 games into the season, and they ended up winning the only championship game that he started with the
They
team.
still gave him a ring though.
Yeah. But he did. He retired. I think that's when Happy Harrison took over. I don't know, but I know he only played like 8 games and he retired.
Need to watch Winning Time on HBO.
Yeah.
That show about the Lakers. That shit is funny. All right, I'm gonna take Elgin off my list here. I'm the only one. Let's see. Me and Cal. We don't have a center here. This should say center, not Callie. I'm going to take a center here, kind of a conventional, old school power forward / center. Anybody know who I'm going to take?
Yes.
It's center / forward.
Center / forward. He could fill it up.
You could fill it.
Bob McAdoo.
Bob McAdoo.
God
Michael
damn
Thompson,
right,
JaVale
Bob
McGee.
McAdoo. Yeah, Bob McAdoo, again, he's one of these guys he was a Laker at the end of his career, but when he was with like Buffalo Braves, he was dropping 30 points a game and leading the league in scoring a few times, and he could fill it up. And he had decent numbers with the Lakers. He was a good role player. He's scoring in the teens and got there at the end of his career. But he was a guy who, like I said, kind of a power forward center, again, maybe ahead of his time. What happens if that frame and that ability comes into the league now?
Yeah.
He's Rasheed Wallace is what he was. So yeah, I have to take McAdoo. Otherwise I'm not going to have a big man on my team at all. All right. So we go to the second pick and we are back to Jody. Yes.
Yes. Well, this guy I'm picking, before I go any further, you'll guess by the time I get done, but Dirk, shot behind his head. Larry Bird, shot behind his head. Joker, shot behind his head. This guy, shot behind his head. I'm taking Jamal Wilkes.
Oh, good call.
Smooth as silk, Jamal Wilkes. I had him on my list. We putting him at your small forward here?
Yes.
I thought you were going to say JFK.
Oh, shot behind his head.
Wow.
Oh, hey-oh. Jamal Wilkes back into the left. Back into the left. It was a magic shot. Yeah. Jamal Wilkes had that nasty, it was almost like Larry Bird and Kevin McHale had a kid and taught him how to shoot.
Yeah.
It was nasty all behind his head, but I'll tell you what, Jamal could fill it up too, right?
Yeah.
He scored 35 in that game when Magic scored 42 when they beat Philly. He had 35.
Yeah.
And he won.
No one talks about it.
He won in 75 in Golden State
Yep.
with Rick Barry.
Oh, yeah, that's a duo, huh? That's a duo that could fill it up right there.
Yeah.
All right, Jamal Wilkes at the 3. So you've got Magic, Kareem, and Jamal Wilkes. I see a pattern forming here. It's like you have a roster from 1980 there. Okay, number 3. Who was number 3? Callie, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cal, what do you got for us?
Nick Van Exel.
Oh, he's on my list too. He's a guy that again, not to be the broken record that I usually am, but when we talk about guys that could play today and would be really valued, he was Brunson before Brunson. Small lefty, fill it up, Nick the Quick, they called him. He could get downhill and drive on you. And he's a guy. Nick Van Exel and like Mahmoud Abdul Rauf, I always talk about like those could be guys that would be really insane to watch today.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely a Jalen Brunson type. Go for it, Jody.
Former Blazer, by the way. Thought I'd throw that out there.
Yeah, that's true. It seems like after like 2000, like everybody's and everybody, like they've all played for a million different teams, doesn't it? Like back in the day, you played for 2, maybe 3 teams. Nowadays, you get these good players that play for so many teams. But yeah, Nick Van Exel's a great pick. So Cal, being the resident young person here, did you go YouTube any of these guys?
No, I Googled best point guards for the Lakers.
Okay. Yeah, not bad. And did you look at like stats or how did you figure that out?
I mean, his points per game were pretty good, so I went off of that.
Yeah, he was probably high teens, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Points per game. And I don't think the Lakers were very good when he played for them, but he got his.
Was that
That was
mid-90s?
Hmm?
So was Van Exel mid-90s, right? Right before what's his name?
He was kind of later. That was the Coach Dale Harris era.
Yeah.
It was like 98-ish, I
Before
thought.
Jackson got there. Yeah, he was good. I think that team had Eddie Jones on there too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, they just didn't have the good coach.
Yeah, so Nick Van Exel, I just pulled him up on my other screen here. Came in the league in 93-94 with the Lakers. Played 5 years with the Lakers, went to Denver, went back to the Lakers, Dallas, Golden State, Portland, San Antonio. He was an all-star 1 year. He was an all-star in 97-98, which I don't know why. He only scored 13.8 points a game, 6.9 assists, which is odd because he had better years. He was his second year with Denver, 16 points and 9 assists a game. So he could get it done. Second year with the Lakers, 17 points, 8 assists. He had some good years in there. But yeah, one of these guys that would really be fun to watch now. All right, fourth, we're back to Terrence, yeah?
I'm gonna go Norman Nixon.
Norm Nixon. Are we going him at the point guard that he played before Magic got there?
Correct.
All right. Norm, I said Mixon on that. That's a typo. Norm
You know
Nixon.
what else is a typo?
What's that?
The fact that we're doing a Lakers pick and it still says aggregate all-time Blazers up there on the top.
Oh, because I copied it over from the Blazers. Hey, great callback to the other show. Everybody go watch that show too.
Yeah. It's a 2-for-1 Friday.
Yeah, it's a 2-for-1. It's called the Wilt Chamberlain special. Oh, okay. So Norm Nixon, and again, there's a guy that could fill it up. I really loved watching the Winning Time. Did anybody else watch that on HBO?
Yeah.
I have not.
Mhm.
And they
Actually, no, I didn't.
portrayed Norm Nixon as just like hating Magic Johnson when he came in. I'm curious if it was actually like that or not.
Actually, when that came out, the two people who spoke out about the film was Magic and Jeannie Buss, and they said it was kind of not even remotely like that. They portrayed Norm as this arrogant guy too, which he was not. So whoever did that was just really trying to make some money. And supposedly at the time, Magic and some of the real Lakers that were on there were going to come out with their version, but I never saw anything about it. So,
Well, he's got,
Interesting.
didn't. What? How long I don't even know. Did they trade Norm Nixon after the '83 season?
he
So
was
after-
gone. He in a trade with him and Wilkes went to the Clippers.
So, but he's got
Yeah.
a couple rings, right? 80.
Yeah, he got the 80 and 82 because if I'm not mistaken, there was a trade where they sent Nixon and Jamal Wilkes to the Clippers for a draft pick, and they ended up drafting Byron Scott, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. because there's only one ball, and Magic and Norm both wanted it.
Right.
Yeah, and Norm Nixon had good numbers. Looking at his stats here, he went to the Clippers. The last year they were the San Diego Clippers, and his first year there, he was 17 points and 11 assists a game.
And
So
wasn't he
yeah,
somebody famous. Who was he married to? Jody?
Debbie Allen. That'd be
Debbie
Felicia
Allen?
Rashad's younger sister.
No, I think he was. I think Norm Nixon was married to some personality or
No, he's
Is
married
it
to Debbie Allen. Look it up.
Debbie Allen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
look it up, bitch. Oh, all right. Norm Nixon. We got you in there. All right, Mike, you've got Kobe Bryant and you've got Shaq. So I assume you're going Eldon Campbell with your next pick.
Ooh.
Next pick on the board will be, so this is drafting him, not really, he was a Laker, but drafting who he was overall in his career. And that's Glenn Rice.
Ooh, I like that.
Glenn Rice. I saw him too, and I thought of him because he's one of my favorite players. I wasn't sure if I wanted to draft. He's right on the cusp. I believe he had 2 years with the Lakers.
Yeah.
But he
He
does
got that
qualify.
2000 championship year.
Yep.
Mhm.
Well, and I when I looked him up, he was the third leading scorer on that team. So yeah, Glenn Rice, shoot the lights out. Like
Yeah,
again, what if Glenn Rice comes into the league today?
man.
Like as big as he was and as good of a shooter he was, and they still didn't really shoot the 3-pointer. I mean, they were just starting to shoot the 3 when he, got in the league. It was becoming popular anyway. But that dude could fill it up.
If those guys play in today's game, where you could add if Larry Bird, Reggie Miller, like you said, Glenn Rice, Dennis Scott, if those guys played in this era where you could probably tack on a good 3 or 4 more years onto their careers the way they play now.
Yep.
Yeah, and the gunners of the day would be really fun to watch. The Michael Adams and the Dana Barros and
Chuck Person.
Chuck
Yeah.
Person would be Chuck Person and Dan Marley would be like trying to see who could shoot from half court the most.
Right. It's so much fun.
That would be they would have to put in an all-star game, which I think they should do anyway, like a distance 3-point shooting contest. But yeah, those guys, Mitch Richmond. I mean, there would be some guys that could just really, really do
Rex Chapman.
Yeah, well, yeah, Rex Chapman. And Rex Chapman was a guy who liked to throw up the 3 ball, right? Like he would gun it up there with no hesitation and no shame at all. So
Right.
Glenn Rice, good pick. And you have the back-to-back pick again. So who do you got on the snake draft coming back here?
I'm gonna go with a guy who got rings all over the place.
I
I'll
already
go
know
for
where he's
Robert
going.
Ory. Big shot Ori.
Big shot, Bob. There it
Big
is.
shot Bob. So I guess we
Big
put
shot
him at the
Bob.
power forward.
Yeah.
One of my favorite players coming out of college when he played with Sprewell at Alabama. I loved Ori. I was a big Rockets fan too when they were winning with Olajuwon, and
Yeah.
he
That
was
fun.
kicking the ball out to Cassell and Kenny Smith and Ori. And yeah, Ori's got a ton of rings. Anyone know offhand how many rings Ori has?
I think he was at 8.
I think he had 7.
7.
Yeah.
He's got
Let's look it up.
2 with Houston, 2 with San Antonio, and 3 with the Lakers.
Survey says 7-time NBA champ.
A quick question: who's the last person to win 4 rings in a row?
Oh, there's a trick in this. It was Steve Kerr.
You are correct.
Yes. I just remembered that. I was like,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, he won 3 with the Bulls and then went to the Spurs, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I just heard that like maybe 3 or 4 months ago.
I think
But yeah, no, there's Robert Ory's great. I didn't have him on my list. Had some other people, but big fan of his. Terry, we're going back to you.
what do I need here? I got a big man. I got a small forward. I got a point guard. I need a shooting guard or a big man. I'll go shooting guard. I'll take Gail Goodrich.
Ooh, another UCLA alum.
Yeah.
All right.
Part of that 33 game winning streak with Jerry West.
Before my time.
Yeah. Played with the Bruins in the 60s and the Lakers. Left-hander. Smooth.
Good pick. All right. I see the team shaping up. All right, Callie, you're up.
Callie. I'm going to take a drink of water.
I need a center, so I'm just gonna go with Dwight Howard.
Dwight Howard. Mike and I were
Uh-huh.
talking about him earlier today, too.
Hall of Famer. Hall of Famer.
Yeah. Did he actually go in? They're talking about him going in.
He went in.
Did he?
Him and Melo.
Mm. So
Not the
Dwight had a
shooter,
couple
Carmelo.
stints with the Lakers, right?
Yeah.
He had a stint early on, and then he came in with LeBron.
Yeah, he had the first stint was with him and Kobe and Steve Nash, and that experiment didn't work.
All right, Dwight Howard. I did have him on my list too, so we'll go ahead and take him off. Yeah, Dwight Howard. I mean, big stud. Great, again, defensive guy who I don't know how he'd do if he was a rookie coming in now. It's like one of those things where he would either do really well and he'd clean up and he'd get 20 rebounds a game and 5 blocks a game, or he would just be useless because he can't shoot outside of 8 feet. But definitely a freak athlete, one of the fun ones to watch.
Yeah.
Jody, you are up, sir.
I need defense. I need shooting. We're going with the also Hall of Famer Michael Cooper.
Oh.
The Sox. As soon as you
Yes.
said defense and shooting, I knew it was all about the Sox. So we'll put his whole name in there. I just like calling him Coop.
How often do you go in the Hall of Fame being the sixth man?
Well, and it's not like he had outstanding numbers either. But he was such a key, again, one of the early on 3-and-D guys, right? Like, was a guy that kind of just knew his role and played it really well. And damn you, I had him on my list, so I'm going to take him off. Yeah, I'm definitely getting down to the nitty gritty here. But I've got 2 picks in a row. So I've got shooting guard because you took Cooper from me. Like, nab it. So I'm going to have to go with the other great shooting guard from that era, who is Jody.
From what, talking about the 80s era or your 60s, 70s era?
Well, no, just after Cooper.
Oh, Byron Scott.
You're goddamn right, Byron Scott.
He's
Little
badass.
box haircut.
Yeah, Byron Scott, again, has better numbers than people realize. I mean, he was a 20-point-a-game scorer at one point with the Lakers. When it felt like they had like 4 20-point-a-game scorers because they had Worthy, they had Magic, they had Kareem, and they had Byron Scott, who were all scoring. And again, Kareem was not as good. I mean, but he was still 16, 17, 18 points a game. But yeah, I love Byron Scott growing up, and he was just a little dude with you get him out on the wing running with James Worthy and Magic pushing it up the middle. And again, for kids like Cal's age or younger, and I've done this with Sadie, I'll put on Magic Johnson highlight videos, and you watch some of that stuff and you forget just how freaking amazing that guy was. And the things that he did. And I know he was goofy and he had knee pads on, like he looked like he was going to play beach volleyball afterwards. And he had the short shorts and he did weird shit. Like he threw the ball behind his head and he did unnecessary no looks when everyone knew you were going to the right. Why'd you look to the left? Like everyone knew, but it was still, that Showtime was just so fun when he would get a rebound and in 4 seconds they would have a bucket. And a lot of times it was Byron Scott or Worthy or Cooper dunking the damn ball.
Not after battling Jim, it wouldn't happen.
No, you bring that shit inside, and Matt Hagan will take you to the ground. No, that's I really enjoyed that era, and that's what me and Mike and Jody. That was our era that we grew up on, and that was our first taste of basketball, and everyone loved the Lakers. So in filling out my roster, Mike, I've got a power forward spot here, Mike. Who is the best power forward with the goggles who will do the dirty work when no one else wants to do
I will
it?
say this: he's one. I'm going to hurt your feelings. He's one of the last ones picked. So,
Well, it's just because I knew nobody else would pick him because you guys aren't as educated in the game as I am. So you know what? Everyone needs the dirty guy, the set the screen guy. Here's what I want Kurt Rambis for. I want Kurt Rambis so when one of your guys is yabbing off, he just comes up behind you and hits you in the back of the head with an elbow, and he'll go and he'll take you out. I had some choices here that we'll talk about afterwards. I don't want to take anybody's choice, but I had 3 other choices here who might be conventionally better basketball players.
Kurt Rambis looked like a serial killer with his glasses always fogging up and a lens being taped to the frame.
But you know what? When Boston was out toughing him, what was the difference? It was guys like Michael Thompson who will come in, or Kurt Rambis, or somebody that would come in with a little bit of size. Then that's what LA needed to kind of get over the hump when Boston was just fucking tougher. They just had mean, nasty players. And you look at some of those. You guys remember when Kurt Rambis got clotheslined and flipped over when they were playing Boston in the finals?
Hung him out to dry.
Yeah, and that was just a common foul back then. It wasn't even a flagrant foul.
I think technical. I don't even thrown out of the game or nothing.
There were no fines, none of that stuff.
No, that was just a foul when they literally took him out by his neck, flipped him over. He landed on his head, and they were just like, foul, go to the line and walk it off and shoot your free throws, Rambis. Yeah, so tough dude. I was going to take Rambis anyway because it's my list and I like it.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on from the GOAT Rambis. Number 2, Jody, you've got a power forward spot to fill out. There's some interesting choices out there, and I feel like you're going to choose a guy with a Jerry curl, but go ahead.
PIL. He's a Portland native. Of course I'm going to pick AC Green.
Yeah.
AC Green, again, another guy underrated, had a good jump shot, would do the dirty work, would set the picks, would play defense. A guy you want on your team because there's only one basketball, right?
He didn't care about scoring. It was like, I'm playing defense, rebounding, outlet. So, but did you know AC Green is the only Laker that played on a championship Laker team from the Magic and Shaq and Kobe era? Did you know that?
No, but that's his Jerry curl was dried up by then, though.
No, he had the high top fade, but he left. He spent a few seasons with Phoenix, and then they signed him because that's when the Lakers were trying to stack everybody the first time around. So they had, Glenn Rice, Shaq, Kobe, Rick Fox, Ori was there, and then they brought in AC Green. So, he was on that team. He didn't start, but well, he did. It's like it was a coin flip depending on who they played. He started, or I don't want to mention the other person's name because he wore goggles too. That played power forward, but yeah. So,
that's interesting. Yeah, I do remember it was so AC Green in the 80s had that greasy, nasty Soul Glow Jerry curl, and then when he was second time around, he looked like he was a backup dancer for Levert. He had that little box going on.
Yeah.
So yeah. Who doesn't like AC Green coming out of Benson High School? They won a state title, yeah?
Yeah.
Yep.
So they did.
Yeah, and when did they win that? Was it 87?
5. No, man. Grant was runner-up 87.
Because Grant won 86 and 88, yeah?
Yeah, and we were runners-up in 87.
That's right. Yeah, AC Green. He was on my list. All right. moving from 2 to 3. Callie, you have a small forward to fill out your lineup. Who are you going with?
Could I put LeBron there?
What do you mean? Could you put LeBron there?
You can do
Of
what you
course
I
want.
you
don't
can
know.
put
Show
LeBron
me.
He's
there.
like a power forward stretch, you know.
No, I'd put LeBron. If I put him at one position, I would put him as a small forward.
Okay.
But
I mean, he can do both because
yeah, for sure, he could do 1 through 5 because he's been playing
Yeah.
center this year.
Cooper can play the point and shooting guard. So
Yeah. A lot of these guys.
LeBron's played every position actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Played point guard.
So is Wilt. Okay, enough of that.
Oh, Kama Sutra Wilt.
I
Yeah,
want to see the
LeBron-
Terry picture of power forward. It'll be interesting because I have somebody in mind. I want to Terry.
Dude, my 2 power forwards were just taken. You guys just took my 2 power forwards.
No, there's one more out there.
Well,
That's a good
I have 3 still that I could pick that are power forwards. But again, we'll share who didn't get picked after we're done with this. But yeah, I know who Jody's thinking of off the bat. I can just tell you right now. But LeBron hanging around on there. It's funny because Callie's like, "Can I pick LeBron?" LeBron's played in LA for like 5 or 6 years. Like he's been around there more, and he's actually up in their top 10 in scoring. Like he's been around for a while, and he's won a championship there. So I definitely think he has the right to call himself a Laker. I don't consider him a true Laker like I do Magic or some of these guys, but but definitely a good pick. I mean, shit, like him, love him. It's like Kobe Bryant or Allen Iverson or people that are just like him, love him, or hate him. You're always going to take those players. So awesome pick. Terry, you are up, and Terry does need the power forward. Why do I have this list there?
Which Callie just took. I was going to take LeBron, Callie. And I was thinking, so I got 2 picks that I have in mind, but I don't know if one's been picked. Did someone take Eldon Campbell already? I know they talked about him.
No,
I don't
nobody's
know.
picked Eldon Campbell yet.
Eldon Campbell, but I'm going to go, and I don't know how many years he played, but I'm going to take Michael Thompson just because he played for Portland.
Yeah, I had him listed. He was one of those ones. And again, there's a guy that could play power forward or center, right?
Yeah.
Funny, last time I talked about Michael Thompson was the draft when his kid was coming out, and I go, boy, that kid from Washington State, Michael Thompson's
Klay
kid, can
Thompson's
really
tough.
shoot the ball.
Yeah.
And little did I know that he would come out and
He's
be
going.
one of the best shooters ever.
Yeah.
But yeah, and again, Michael Thompson, babyface assassin, he could do a lot of things. He was a good backup, and again, they needed his size to go up against some of those.
He
Big
can't
dudes
do
from
what
Boston.
Clay did.
What's that?
Him and Mitch Kupchak.
Can't do what Clay did. Drop 37 and a quarter.
Yeah. Clay has maybe scored a few more points than his old man.
A few.
A few more, but yeah, Michael Thompson is definitely a piece of the team. We've got everything rounding out here, and Mr. Michael has not picked a point guard yet. I have 2 point guards left, and I think I know who Mike's going to pick if he's going to pick a guy from like the 90s. But Mike, go with your pick.
He isn't revered and known really for being a Laker, but again, going off career, everyone knows him for a Phoenix stint. So I'm gonna go Steve Nash.
Steve Nash barely qualifies for this list. He played 2 years for the Lakers.
I thought you were going to pick Sedale 3. All right.
That's who I was like. If he's picking from the 90s, he's going Sedale 3. And actually, Sedale 3 was number 5 on my list if all the point guards were taken. But then I ended up taking old Logo as the point guard. Steve Nash. How can you go against Steve Nash? 2-time MVP, great soccer player. We were talking the other day.
The 3 ball. I need everyone to be able to hit the 3 except Shaq. One got a rebound, everyone else hit 3s.
Yeah. You definitely have a 4-out situation going there with a lot of perimeter players. Nash, there was a thing on TV the other day where Jason Kidd was talking about how when he got to the Suns, Kevin Johnson was the starting point guard. Jason Kidd was the backup. Steve Nash was the third string point guard.
Crazy.
Like, what's that point guard room like? That's nasty right there. That's pretty
Really?
good. You got some depth there in Phoenix. So I thought that was interesting. So, all right. So in looking at some of these, let's just do a quick round robin. We'll start with Jody since he's in the upper left. Jody definitely has an early 80s vibe going on here. AC Green came in the later 80s, but yeah, Jody's definitely got an era of Showtime basketball going on with his team. Mike has the 4-out situation. Oh, go ahead, Jody.
I got 6 NBA Finals MVPs in that box on my team. So,
damn. All right. Yeah, I can't even count the ones that I have. I'm impressed. Is this why you're the stat guy? You know this shit. You're our encyclopedia. Mike's got the 4-out. Mike wants to dump it into Shaq and have him kick it out and shoot some threes, play some pick and roll, play some pick and pop with Glenn Rice. Callie's got some of the newer age, the Van Exel and the Eddie Jones, and she's got some of the newer guys. LeBron's definitely going to run that team, and she's got kind of a twin tower thing going on with Powell and Dwight. So does Terry. Terry's the one who will go up against with the twin towers. He's got Michael Thompson and Wilt the Stilts, and some old schoolers, Norm Nixon and Gail Goodrich, who hail from the 70s there, and of course Big Game James to bridge the gap. I didn't even really have a plan with my team. My team's just a bunch of clusterfucks thrown together who I like.
McAdoo and Rambus. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm playing 4-out too, but my one post is Rambus. I'm putting him in the dunker spot. And we're going to get him down there. Now, I'm going to go through and I'm just going to ask each of you if there's to name one person on your list that wasn't named. Callie, was there anybody on your list that wasn't named?
Lamar Odom.
Good pick. So Lamar Odom, when we started talking about power forwards, because Lamar Odom's a guy that could play like 2 through 4, right? Like he could even play the 1 sometimes if you wanted him to. But Lamar Odom was a guy who was 6th man of the year, had some great years, a really versatile player. Too bad he started dating a Kardashian. That fucked his whole life up. But yeah, Lamar Odom, great pick. Jody, what's one player on your list that didn't get mentioned?
I didn't have a list. I just did mine up here. So,
Jesus, you're like fucking Rain Man. Like,
I would have said power forward, and yeah, Michael Thompson was on my list, but I went AC Green. But nobody grabbed Horace Grant for that 2000 Lakers championship team.
So I thought about Horace Grant. He just didn't make my list. I'll tell you who bumped him out here in just a second, but he was close to making my list there. But yeah, Horace Grant, ring hunter, like getting his rings. Mike, anybody on your list that didn't get a shout out?
Ooh,
Who?
Vlade Divac.
Oh, Vlade Dottie. We likes to party. Yeah. Vlade was on my list. He was my number 5 center. And a guy, again, if he plays nowadays, he's Jokic.
Yeah.
The guy could shoot. He could pass. He was just one of those European Sabonis, Jokic type players that was a little before his time, but he was a winner, man. And wasn't he the guy traded for Kobe from
Charlotte? Yeah.
Yeah. So
on draft night.
And he went to Sacramento and just like torched in Sacramento too.
Yeah, they had a fun team with him and Weber passing the ball for their front court.
Yeah.
They were good. Terry, anybody that you want to give a shout out to that didn't make the cut?
I had the 2 power forwards in the 70s for Happy Hairston and Kermit Washington.
Ooh, Kermit.
Oh, now
when the Blazers beat the Lakers on their way to their championship, Kermit Washington wasn't playing. And their starting guard, who was, God, I can't remember his name. Maybe it's Norm Nixon, maybe not. No, I don't think it's Norm Nixon. But they were missing 2 starters, and the Blazers beat them. Not that they wouldn't have beat them anyway, but they finished 10 games up on the Blazers during the regular season. So that was the mainstays for Lakers power forwards or small forwards were Kermit and Happy Harrison in the 70s.
Well, and people our age know Kermit Harrison for something way different. Like
The fight.
yeah, you think of him rearranging Rudy Tomjanovich's existence.
Yeah.
Like the biggest punch probably ever landed in the NBA.
Mhm.
Just I remember as a kid, that's what I knew Kermit Washington for. And I also remember going to a basketball camp. I went to Larry Steele basketball camp, and Kermit Washington was there, and he put on a 50-pound weight vest and still dunked it two-handed, like standing.
Yeah, he's
Like,
a beast.
God, he was strong. He was so strong. Jody, you wanted to say something?
I had one more small forward. He fit in every era. He was that one guy. He was kind of reliable. Once he left Dallas, any team he went to, his teams went to the finals. Sam Perkins.
Sleepy eyes.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
Sam.
Perkins is nice. Yeah,
Perkins was
he
number
on my
5
list.
on my list.
Yeah,
Let's see a
He
power.
went to the finals in 90. Matter of fact, he got the winning shot in game 1 of the Jordan Magic finals. He hit that 3 with like 2 seconds left, but went to the finals with the Lakers. Went to Seattle with Sean Kemp and Payton. Went to the finals there. Then he went to the finals with Reggie Miller and Mullen and with the Pacers, who played the 2000 Lakers. So yeah, he reliable.
He could play the 3, 4, or 5. They called him Mr. Smooth, right? Wasn't that his name?
Yeah.
And he had that left-handed smooth jump shot. He could hit threes. He could block shots because his arms were about as long as Wembanyama's. Like they were really long. Great at North Carolina, right? I believe he's all-time All-American a couple years at North Carolina.
Olympic
He was on
gold
the
medalist. Yeah.
Olympic
Wasn't he
gold
on the
medalist.
championship team with Jordan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was him and Worthy and that
Kenny Smith.
snack squad.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Perkins was on my list. We talked about Sedale 3. I had 2 more on my total list all. A guy who's just getting started but is pretty fucking good, Austin Reeves.
Yeah.
20-point a game scorer this year. Really a good third wheel from them. They're going to be interesting in the playoffs. I don't think they can beat Oklahoma City, but if Doncic, LeBron, and Austin Reeves are all healthy, they're pretty good. And then I also had Anthony Davis on there, who, again, is kind of like what Callie said, like, is he really a Laker? Can I take him? But Anthony Davis won a title. And yeah, I was going to say, in the 17 games a year that he plays, he's pretty good.
Yeah.
And then George Mikan. Nobody took George Mikan off the board from the old days.
Yeah.
The original center. Hey, Callie, what's the warm-up drills you do under the basket, left and right hand?
The mic and drill.
The Mikan drill, baby. So kids her age are still doing the fucking Mikan drill. That's
Didn't they win
amazing.
How come you didn't pick him?
Did they win 5
Well,
in a row?
I had to make this a little bit, I took McAdoo. I kind of went off the beaten path.
Yeah.
I really wanted to take Jerry West, Austin Reeves, Rambus, Mick Kupchak, and Chris Mim, and just have like an all whitey lineup.
Yeah.
And nobody would have taken him. Chris Mim barely qualifies too. So good job. I'll post these on Instagram, and we'll see what people think of these. And you know what time it is now to end the show, don't you? What time is it?
It's the 5 time.
It's the Fab Five time. Callie, you ready for the Fab Five?
I just found out about it, but
Oh, yeah. This is going to be interesting then.
I have my first 2 questions down.
All right. Well, now we're going to be doing these. So I'll save you for last so you can kind of see how this
Okay.
goes. And you've seen
Okay.
the show before. You know what's up.
Yeah.
All right. So first question is going to be, and I'm going to start with Terry on this one, okay? And Terry, what's your favorite workout song? And I know that you, back in the day especially, you would get on that Bowflex and you would go to work.
That's right.
Yeah.
That
And,
holds 5 pairs of pants, 6 shirts, 4
So-
ties.
What's your go-to workout song? What's number one to get you going?
Besides Celine Dion, I'm going to go with Anything old school by Kool and the Gang. No particular song, just old school Kool and the Gang. Does that qualify?
Are you power walking workout or what?
Neither.
Hey, Jeremy, we can't hear you, man. You're on mute.
Son of a bitch. Yeah, my gardener's outside doing the lawn. Yeah, I have a gardener, motherfuckers. So
You uppity.
I know. And his name is Manuel too. I feel so white.
So
Get off
racist.
my lawn.
Oh God. Yeah. Good thing nobody watches this thing. I'd be canceled in a minute.
Old man looking at the sky.
So Terry, you're talking about the Get Down on It celebration, Kool and the Gang, yeah?
Yeah, maybe even before that. Sure.
Yeah.
Them.
All right. Mike, let's go to you.
It's a tie between "Let's Get Physical" by Olivia Newton-John or "Gimme Gimme Gimme" by ABBA.
Oh yeah.
ABBA.
ABBA.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm joking. It's "What Would You Do" by the Dog Pound. I was joking. I thought I'd throw that out there just to be.
Oh no. I
I
like your original answer. You should
Yeah.
What's wrong with it?
Those are
That's
the
it.
real answers.
That's the
Yeah. You forget how often I've been in the gym and I hear you and Callie's playlists, and the first song that comes on when she's on the gun is "How Deep Is Your Love."
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, go.
Yeah. Fantastic. Jody, you're a big workout guy. You're the biggest workout guy here. So what do you like when you're getting your pump on, getting ready for the arm wrestling tournaments?
If I'm being honest, I don't listen to pump up music.
What do you listen to?
Nothing.
Well, don't be honest. Give us an answer.
No, like if I'm in my
You just
gym in the
work out
garage.
in silence?
No,
Like a
I mean,
psycho?
I'm watching. No, I mean,
Serial killer.
I'm watching. I'm actually watching tournaments and watching my opponent. I'm getting ready for it. So there is no music. It's just me
That Mamba
banging,
mentality.
banging, and, But
Jesus, the focus on you, man.
Do you have a
I gotta
picture
be
of
my
your
I gotta be in my
opponent?
zone.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. I was like, you're not going to even give me a meet me halfway from over the top or anything like that?
No, but I'll tell you this though. When I went to Philadelphia last month, and those guys wanted me to have a walkout song, I did that though. So,
Oh, that was Back in Black. Yeah.
well, as Chocolate Thunder, right? So my walkout song was Thunderstruck by AC/DC.
Oh, it was
Nice.
Thunderstruck. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's on the interweb if anybody wants to see it.
Yeah.
How did you do
Um,
back there?
Huh?
How did you do?
I'll show you.
Uh-oh.
He's going to show you his bling. But yeah, what a fucking psycho. Like, who works out and doesn't listen to music? Like, he's like Christian Bale in American Psycho. That's like just doing his sit-ups and he's like, oh, I put on a moisturizer mask every morning.
So this was my first place trophy. It weighs about 9 pounds.
Nice.
Is that a dragon?
Yeah.
Dragging these nuts?
Yeah. So trying to get that on the airplane was a challenge because they've been known to break. So I didn't want them to break. So I had to go like a Walmart and get like a backpack that was wide enough and tall enough for those to fit in there. And I had t-shirts wrapped around it, towels wrapped around it, so they wouldn't knock into each other in the upper thing in the plane. So yeah.
Yeah, that thing's big, man. You should have just carried it on and told them you won it at a Dungeons and Dragons LARPing tournament.
I would have attracted the wrong kind of people with the wrong kind of conversation. So
That's right up there with the Mitchell Cup trophy there.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
see?
Callie, workout song.
I have two answers.
Hey, you can give two answers. That's fine.
Sweet Freedom, Michael McDonald.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That's me. That's my name if I married Jeremy.
Yes. Yes. And then You're the Best from the Karate Kid soundtrack.
Joe Esposito. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Do you have a Michael McDonald impression?
Not for right now.
Mike, give me your Michael McDonald impression.
I'm gonna be there.
Yeah, okay, great. I love it. You want to imagine you're right where I want to be. Yeah. Good stuff. All right. I always like Thunderstruck myself. I thought that's a great anything AC/DC, honestly. You could play AC/DC's greatest hits in the weight room and you're okay the whole time.
Yeah.
So good stuff. All right. Question 2. Starting with Terry.
Well, what did you pick? Did
I
miss
picked
it?
any AC/DC.
Oh, just any. Okay, that was your pick.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking in general.
Yeah. I like If You Want Blood. I like that one a lot. One of their B-siders, but I like AC/DC greatest hit stuff. All right, Terry, you can only watch 3 either TV shows from back in the day or streaming series now. You can pick 3. You can only watch those for the rest of your life. What are you watching?
The rest of your life.
Well, at least the next couple years, because you're on the fucking downward
For
spiral.
the next couple of weeks. I'm gonna go Cheers, MASH, and now I'm hooked on the first 48. You know what?
Oh, but yeah, the last one really a curveball from the first 2.
Yeah, well, you need a little violence in your life.
Yeah, no, you got a little mystery. Got to solve that crime in 48
looking-
hours.
Quit fucking lying. I got your fingerprints right here.
Do you ever find yourself talking to the TV and go, "You're a fucking liar" when you're watching?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Mike, 3 shows.
Don't
What do you
steal
got?
mine.
I know. I literally had pretty much the same as Kyle, so I'm gonna go with my second would be Queer Eye for the Straight Guy, Say Yes to the Dress, and The View.
Oh, whoa.
Excellent.
And that is about right. We know you're at Darcel's on Tuesday night. Jody, three shows.
Now they have to be on TV.
Well, no, TV or streaming, whatever.
Because the only thing we watch on like actual TV now would be Survivor,
Okay.
Amazing Race,
Which is
and then
kind of the
stuff we
same.
watch. What's that?
Which is kind of the same, right?
I mean, like anything we watch now is on streaming. I mean, the only regular TV we watch is just those 2 shows. That's it.
Yeah.
Other than
Competition
that,
shows.
we watch, Live PD, Cops, that kind of stuff. Judge Judy.
Why are you sweating watching Cops?
Well, I mean, because what we do for a living kind of relates to that. So we kind of,
Yeah, you guys are both around a lot of bad people.
Oh,
They've
yeah.
done naughty things. They've
The
done naughty
criminal
things, or else
justice.
you guys wouldn't know them.
right.
Callie,
I'm trying not to. Yeah.
you got 3 for me, Callie, that aren't ones that your dad's watching while he's wearing his dress and eating his vanilla pudding.
Yeah. SpongeBob, Ozark, and The Boys.
There you go.
SpongeBob,
Oh.
Ozark, and the Boys. Okay,
Uh-huh.
Family Guy.
Yeah.
Let's go.
that's definitely a mix there. There's some series that as an adult I've gone back and watched and I appreciated them more, and I'm definitely going to piggyback on Terry's Cheers. Just in terms of longevity, and there were some bad parts in it, but there was also some really good parts in it. I'm going to take The Walking Dead. And then I really, really liked the series Silicon Valley that was on HBO a while back about app creators and that. It's a comedy. If you never watched Silicon Valley, watch it. It is a good one. All right, moving on to the number 3 of the Fab Five. Terry, you got one more meal. What's your last meal going to be?
Caesar salad, pepperoni pizza, and a nice cold beer.
Just one nice cold beer?
Well, depends on how much time they're giving me.
Yeah. If it's your last meal, you're probably going to want a 24-pack of
The
that.
Blue Mountain Coors Light.
That's right. That's right. So, all right. So yeah, that was really definite, and that's what you're known for. You're known for your pepperoni pizza and Coors
Yeah.
Light. Mike, last meal. What do you got?
Pepperoni pizza. In right here.
Are you dying
And-
tonight?
What?
Are you dying tonight?
No, but I'm this is what that'd be my last meal would be pepperoni pizza.
Well, you can come over
And
right
I'd probably
now.
go with a vanilla whiskey.
A vanilla whiskey. I was really close with the vanilla pudding comment earlier.
You were.
We had a-
So with your pepperoni, are we doing breadsticks? We got chicken wings. Are we doing any accoutrements? Or are we doing just pizza?
I'll do some breadsticks. And then some blue cheese dipping sauce for my pizza.
Who has the best breadsticks?
For like fast food pizza, it's Pizza Hut. But I don't like fast food pizza that much. So out here we have this place called John's Pizza House, which they actually have pretty good pizza sticks. We've only gone a couple times. But they're pretty
John's Pizza House. That sounds sketchy. That's a front for something.
good. It's in like the
Massage
westland
parlor.
of Rochester, right?
They call that the red light district.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
All right,
Mike,
Jody.
I'm doing pepperoni pizza too. You want to come over?
Sure, I'll be there in a minute.
Yeah, 2-for-1 electrocution night.
That's right. Jody, what do you got for your last meal?
Barbecue spare ribs, coleslaw, Popeyes, and Crown Royal.
Oh,
Just the original Crown Royal?
Oh, it don't matter what flavor. I mean, I didn't had all the flavors, so
Yeah.
if I had to pick one, I'd probably say it would be a tie between apple and peach.
I think I've
Apple's good.
seen you drink all the flavors in one sitting.
exactly. My bathroom can prove that.
Yeah, I was going to say, I believe that was at Terry's house.
Yep.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
All right. No, that's a good mix there. Cal, what are we doing last meal?
a half a rack of barbecue ribs, mashed potatoes, and mac and cheese.
All right. I got that. That's
Yep.
good. And where are you getting that from?
I don't know.
You guys have an echo going on. Did somebody turn their volume up?
I don't know.
Probably him.
Oh, now it sounds better. All right. So where do you get this stuff from? Where do you get good mac and cheese in Detroit or in Michigan?
Yeah.
Is it better mac and cheese there than in Oregon?
I'm not sure.
No, about the same.
Yeah. Yeah, it's about the
Right
same.
on. Right on. I'm gonna hit Olive Garden. I'm gonna go tour of Italy, baby. I'm
Oh.
getting some fettuccine. I'm getting some lasagna. I'm getting some chicken parm. I'm going all Italian and all the breadsticks you can eat. And then I'm sneaking in one of Terry's Coors Lights.
You go home.
You go home now. You've been here for an hour. You eat too much. Yeah, if I went to a Chinese buffet, I would live forever. All right. So moving on. Back up to the top of the order with Terry. If you opened up a store, you could sell anything. Money's no issue. You could open up a store. What would you sell?
Alcohol.
Jesus. Let me finish the question before you get that out.
During good times, you're gonna celebrate. Someone just passes away. You're gonna buy alcohol. It's the
Why-
gift that keeps giving,
So, Terry,
and it
Why
sounds like
don't-
I'd be selling to all of you.
why don't they have, you've been in the industry for a long, long time. So why don't they have bars that have shelves around it where they sell bottles of alcohol too? So it could be a bar and an alcohol, like an alcohol store.
Because the OLCC won't let you do that.
They won't let you do both.
So, like at our place, you have to buy by the shot. You can buy a bottle of wine to take upstairs, a bottle of beer to take upstairs, but you cannot buy alcohol. You would have to buy per shot, which would be awfully expensive for
Right.
the store.
Okay. So it's all a permitting thing.
Correct. Now, I just don't think anywhere that I know of that they would just put it like the Old West, where they just put a bottle up there and you pour your own drinks.
Yeah. Well, I'm just thinking you go have a couple beers and you're just like, oh, I want to try that tequila. And you buy it off the shelf and you take it home, you know?
Yeah, they don't do that. Not in
Oh.
Oregon, anyway.
That's too bad. I think that would be a great business model.
That'd be
Um,
dangerous as hell.
So Mike is on his 14th gummy of the day, and right now I look like a pink tortoise to him. But Mike, what would you sell if you could sell anything and money was not an issue?
Shoes.
Of course, that's such a Mike White answer. Shoes. You are a shoe head, and yeah, that makes complete sense. Jody, what about you?
I love my chicken strips, so it'd be chicken fingers all over the place with like 35 to 40 different dipping sauces.
Yum.
Nom 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 nom.
Nom 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 nom. So chicken strips, what would go with it?
Well, you got to go with fries, right? So, but any sides would do. Mashed potatoes, coleslaw, mac and cheese, whatever. But the main course would be the chicken strips. But they can be with sauce on them. They can be dry rubbed. However you want to do it. It's just another version of a Buffalo Wild Wings, kind of in a way.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think I've got an application for you to run a wing stop. You'd be good to
down
go.
here at fucking Bend is weak. We have no Wingstop, got no Buffalo Wild Wings,
Really?
no Popeyes, no Dave's Chicken. Everything's fucking beer and pizza and Banks. That's it.
Huh. That's crazy. That's crazy that an area that's growing and has so much money down there that it doesn't have, like a Popeyes would probably go crazy down there.
Well, I think of Buffalo Wild Wings. Can you imagine the revenue they'd make during the football season and basketball and baseball in the summer? Like, they just fucking think, oh, another pizza place. No, we don't need that. Or another hamburger place. No, we got plenty of them. Stop already.
Yeah.
I mean, we got a Fire on the Mountain. We have that, but
That's good.
we got another chicken place that's local. It's not so much. It's like it's called Chicken Bones, but they're good. But nobody else knows about it. 'Cause I think it's just a local thing. So
Nice. All right. I'm going with the chicken and accoutrements. Callie, what would you sell if you could sell anything?
I would have like a popcorn shop where they have like a bunch of fun flavors like sriracha, cotton candy, candy apple, all that stuff.
Wow. Okay. So popcorn. Joe Brown, baby.
Yeah.
Go get you some caramel corn. Caramel corn's my favorite. I got a weakness for that. I'll eat a whole tub of that shit.
So good.
Oh, so good. But yeah, flavored popcorn. We got flavored popcorn in a couple tins for the first time. You get those around Christmas. You get those big tins with the cheese corn and the popcorn and
yeah,
surprised,
it's butter, cheese, and caramel corn.
Cheese
right,
corn.
right. And surprised how popular it was. I bought them just for the tins because the tins were cool, but the popcorn went like gangbusters. Yeah, if I could sell any one thing, I think I would run a hitman service. I would have murder for hire, sell people. I think that's really a loss. There's a lot of people who deserve to go down out there, and of course, we would be ethical about it. We would make sure they're a bad person first, But yeah, murder for hire. So take that with your goddamn popcorn. All right.
Size 8.
All right. So last one, Terry. This is going to go sideways. I already know this group is not going to give good answers. You're going to give horrible, non-appropriate answers.
I don't even know what the question is.
Aside from an internet browser, oh shit! Do I have to tell you what an internet browser is?
Probably.
So like Google, Safari. Aside from your internet browser, you can only keep one app forever. What app are you going to keep?
Oh shit! I don't know.
He's going to say Pornhub.
TikTok. I'll throw TikTok.
TikTok.
Is that still around?
It is still around.
For the time being?
Well, it depends on what day you ask, because at any point it could be being threatened to not exist. It didn't exist for like what, a day or a half a day?
Yeah.
A little bit ago, and all the 15-year-old girls didn't know what to do with
He
it.
got rid of it, brought it back, and was a hero. And I go, well,
yeah.
Get rid of it in the first place. You wouldn't have to be a friggin' hero.
Yeah, well, the Donald is messing with TikTok, man. He's doing some crazy stuff.
The hero syndrome.
Mike, besides your internet browser, what app are you keeping?
Steam.
Steam. Explain Steam to people who don't know what it is.
It's like a marketplace, and it's kind of hard to explain. It's a place where you can buy games, and then you can also play your games that you buy. So kind of like one-stop shop.
Yeah, and they have, and you have the Steam box, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and so you can play all sorts of games and things on that.
Mhm.
Yeah, Steam. That's a good answer. Jody, one app.
YouTube.
YouTube. Now, I'm going to give you a crack at number 2 as a follow-up, because if you really wanted to, you could go to youtube.com and watch it on your internet browser. So, do you have a backup app that you can't get to through your internet? What do you use the most? Grinder.
YouTube. But I meant, as far as that, it'd be, I meant just YouTube. I mean, I use a lot of that, like 85% of the time.
Okay.
I can watch the same stuff over and over and still be entertained, because some way, somehow, when you watch it the 5th or 4th time, you'll see something different you didn't see the first couple times. So,
all right.
Yeah.
YouTube's the play. Callie, what besides your internet browser, what are you choosing?
I mean, I love YouTube, so I have to go with that too.
So you're going with YouTube as well.
You got gaming, you got random videos, music.
Like
Yeah, every
90% of the day on YouTube. I swear.
Yeah. I just hate the ads. They drive me crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's hard to find, because most of these apps you can get, you can get on your internet browser. But yeah, that's if you use YouTube the most. I think everybody here probably uses YouTube a lot.
I need a download. I've never used it.
You
What is
downloaded
this YouTube you speak of?
Yeah, what is this? I've never had that. I would have to keep DoorDash, because I like paying $40 for a burrito and having it come cold and having the wrong shit inside of it. I mean, it's just like a Russian roulette. It's just like, we're just gonna play. You just give me whatever the fuck you want, because it's gonna be wrong anyway. So just go ahead and just throw it in there. They should have that on DoorDash, where you just choose the restaurant, and then it's just like a question mark in a box, and you just click it. You pay $40,
Mystery box,
and they decide how much food you get.
It's just condiments one time.
Yeah. It's just condiments and a goat turd.
Yeah.
And you're just like, what did you give me?
What'd you order for dinner? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. Let's go. You're crossing your fingers. All right. Well, this has been educational and entertaining. I think we learned a lot more about the Lakers than anybody ever wanted to know today, and a little bit inside the mind of demented people. We know that Mike, listens to women's music and eats vanilla pudding. Jody's a psycho who just stares at his weights when he works out. We really uncovered a lot of things here today. But it was good. It was great having you all on. Any last parting shots before we go?
What's the next show going to be about? Okay, wait for this. What's the next show?
Boy, I don't know.
We had all-time Blazers. We had all-time Lakers. I can only imagine what the next one's going to be.
All-time Chippendales.
Yes, we know where Mike's going. All-time pudding flavors. We will probably, we are the aggregate, so we will get out of the sports here. At some point, we will get into a movie draft. We will get into a song draft. We're gonna explore the hearts and minds of everyone who comes on and let the world know your gloriousness. So, for Terrence, did you put Terry got Thanos as your name?
After he got dropped the last.
Yes, and our viewers don't know this, but yes, as we did our first recording of this show, Terry just disappeared off of the screen, like Thanos just snapped and Terry was gone. And I didn't even notice that your name said Terry got Thanos. That's pretty funny. All right, so for Terry, for Mike, for Callie, for Chocolate Thunder, I'm Coach Mac. We're out of here. Thanks for watching The Aggregate. Have a good one.
See y'all next time.
Easter.